Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Kongveal and today I am not trying to survive in anything. I guess I am going to try to survive. I'm going to try to survive your questions. So today is a special stream. It's a getting to know you question and answer type stream in reward for, this way. What y'all did up here and all that money that you raised for the Trevor project as part of the Rainbow Shield Wall. So y'all had asked for this as one of the stretch goals, as one of the rewards. So here it is. So I over the past couple of weeks, I asked for some questions that you guys wanted to have me answer. Mostly, questions about me. So y'all can try to get to know me a little bit. Y'all gave me tons of questions. I've got like 2 pages worth of questions that I need to answer, plus whatever y'all come up with today. So without further ado, let me say hi to everyone. Hello, how are you all doing? Howdy, Sarah. Hello, Kyle. Hey, Whisper. Hello, Mom Veal. Time for me to reveal all of my secrets. Maybe you'll find out one of those things every mom wants to know. Hey, Dad. How you doing? Hi, Dad Veal. So again, as I have in the chat, let me know how the music volume is. I can always adjust it if need be. But without further ado, I'm going to start working through my list, and if you all have any other questions that you come up with as we go through this, feel free to throw them in the chat, and I will try to answer those that are appropriate to answer. So the first question is, how did I get introduced to Valheim, or who introduced me to Valheim? So that's my brother and sister-in-law, really. About 3 weeks, maybe only about 2 to 3 weeks after Valheim came out, my brother was like, "Hey, have you heard about this game called Valheim?" And a little bit. I heard that it was a Viking game that was coming out, but that's all I really knew about it. Hey, Erica, how you doing? Thanks for lurking. Good luck with your chores. I'm sorry. That sounds miserable. But I was like, I knew a little bit about it, but not much. And it's like, well, my wife and I, your sister-in-law and I have been giving it a shot, and it's a lot of fun. I think you'd like it. So I looked into it a little more, and I'm like, oh, it's a survival game. I don't really like survival games. I'd never really liked survival games before that. But I'm like, all right, y'all want to play with me, so I'll get it. I'll give it a shot. And here I am, 2,500 hours later, 2,600 hours later, several years later, plus streaming, 2 years of streaming later. Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. So thanks to my brother and sister-in-law for getting me into Valheim. Slight change of pace. Did you choose your career path, or did it choose you? So for those of you that don't know, I am an epidemiologist. I work in public health. So what I do as an epidemiologist is... Hey, Fid? Is that you, Fid? Sorry, I thought I heard a cat crying, and then bugs over here. So must have been Aphid, I don't know, or someone outside maybe, I don't know. Anyway, as an epidemiologist, I work to investigate diseases, how people got the disease, where it came from, how it spread, and try to stop the spread of it and prevent further diseases from popping up. So did I choose my career path? That's really a tough question. Yes and no. So I have a tattoo on my arm. Let's see if I can see this. There we go. I have a tattoo there on my arm. It's in Khmer, which is the language of Cambodia, that I got in Cambodia. And it says, "Not all those who wander are lost," which is, as some of you nerds like me may know, is a quote from The Lord of the Rings. But I really realized, especially when I was in Cambodia, that this quote really described me and my path very, very well. I haven't always known where I'm going. I haven't always known where I am. But, and I've wandered a lot, especially career-wise. I've wandered a lot, but I haven't been lost. I just haven't known where the end point is. So for years, starting in high school, really, I got really interested in genetics and thought that was going to be where it is. You know, genetic research, academic genetic research. You know, I studied a bunch of genetics in college. I got a PhD in genetics. But then during my PhD, I realized, academic research really isn't for me. Because once you get your lab set in the US, once you get your lab set up, all you're doing really is writing grants and writing papers, while postdocs, grad students, and occasionally undergrads are the ones that are doing the actual lab work, which is what I like. And I don't want to be stuck behind a desk writing grants and writing papers. So I sort of got a little disillusioned by academic research. Started looking at other things. But then I went into the Peace Corps, which for those of you outside the US may not know, it's a volunteer. Technically it's government, but we don't really like to be identified as being connected with the government, because we're an apolitical organization. But it's a volunteer organization where you go to developing countries, low and middle income countries, and help in one field or another. So in Cambodia, when I was there, you could either be an English teacher trainer or a community health education volunteer, which is what I was. So I, without knowing it, was doing epidemiology work. I was going out into the community. I talking with them and identifying health concerns, health risks, health issues in the community, and worked to come up with not policies, but programs that would combat those. And while I was there, I really found out I really enjoyed that sort of work. And, came back and got into public health, got into epidemiology. So I guess, long story short, I guess it kind of chose me, with a little bit of me half choosing it, but really it chose me. Next question. Where am I from and where do I currently live? So I'm from Northern Virginia in the US, just outside Washington, D.C. And I currently live in San Diego. Just moved out here a couple of months ago. What are my favorite game genres? So before Valheim, I would have said I really like grand strategy games and first-person shooters, especially first-person shooters years ago, like in high school and college. I also really enjoyed role-playing games like Baldur's Gate type games. But now I do really enjoy survival games. But I still think probably grand strategy games are my favorite genre of game. So things like Europa Universalis 4 and Stellaris, and things like that. Total War type games. Am I considering doing anything with the game Aska? Yes, eventually. I will be giving that a shot at some point here on Kongveal Survives. Don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. What is your favorite pastime outside of gaming, content, and creation? Gaming and content creation. So I really enjoy reading. I enjoy running and cycling. I like to hike. I enjoy camping. Those are a lot of things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy baking and cooking. I especially enjoy baking pies. I love baking pies. That's one of my favorite things to do. What is the longest run I've done? So I've done a marathon, which is 26.2 miles or 42 kilometers. I'm trying to think if I've done any longer than that, like as training or anything. I don't think I have. I've done multiple runs over 20 miles, like 20 to 25 miles. But I think the one marathon I've done, I think is the longest I've run. Good question, Sarah. Thank you. What was my favorite dish? It's a favorite food. Favorite dish. That's a difficult one. I really like a lot of different things. It's hard to beat a nice, good, big salad with all the toppings. Vegan toppings, no meat, no cheese, no eggs. I don't really like that on salads all that much, but get the tomatoes and carrots and green peppers and other bell peppers and radishes and onions and just everything, all the veggies in a nice big salad. And especially if you like throw in some craisins and maybe some sunflower seeds for some crunchiness, and that's a good one. But I don't know, there's just so many foods I like. It's hard to choose a favorite. My mom says I've preferred salads since I was young. She would get a burger and I would get a salad. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we'd go to like a steak place and I'd get a salad. What dressing? Depends on my mood. I really enjoy just, a good olive oil and balsamic vinegar, or olive oil and apple cider vinegar. Ranch on occasion. French is good. Italian. It really depends. I like a lot of different salad dressings. There aren't many that I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of blue cheese. Even when I ate blue cheese, ate cheese, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But pretty much other than that, they're all good. All right, next question. What was your dream job growing up? What did you want to be, and how did that change? I don't know. Mom, you might have a better time answering what was my dream job growing up. You might know more than me. I can't really remember. I know for a while I wanted to be a surgeon. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a surgeon for a while. I'm sure like all kids, I wanted to be an astronaut at times. Probably wanted to be a firefighter at times. I know when I was really young, for a while, I really wanted to be a trash collector. Ghostbuster? Yeah, well, I mean, of course. Who doesn't want to be a Ghostbuster? I still want to be a Ghostbuster. That would be awesome. Marine biologist? I don't think I ever really wanted to be a marine biologist. Don't remember that one being up there. But yeah, and how did it change? Well, I don't know. As I learned more of what interested me, and the thing that really got me into genetics, at least, as I said, it was in high school, and I was taking a DNA biotechnology class, which is fascinating. Love that class. One of the coolest things we did in it is we extracted the DNA from our own cheek cells, and we put it in a little vial that I had as a necklace. So I had a necklace with my DNA in it, and I thought that was so cool. It was so cool to extract my own DNA from my cells and be able to see it. Ever since then, I just fell in love with DNA, fell in love with genetics, and just, that got me down the path that I went on and ended up here where I am now. Yeah, remember those? Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay, this is another difficult one. What are the traits that you look for in people you want to develop from friendships with? Like, what's important to you? I mean, one of the main things is just, honesty and, just being a good person. If you're a good person, we're going to get along probably. If you're a good person, you care about people, you like people, you're not a jerk. Yeah, that's the main thing. Just be nice, be a good person. That's the main thing I look for in friendships or relationships or anything. Is, are you a good person? And do we have at all any sort of overlapping interests? Do we enjoy hanging out together? Do we enjoy talking with each other? Raymond says, well, crap, I'm out. No. From what I know about you, I think you're a decent person. Ish. Yeah, so that's probably what I look for most. What is your favorite? Decent. That's all you get. Well, I mean, I don't really know you that well yet. I've only met you a couple of days ago, so I mean, what do you expect from me? All right, so this is a fun one. This one I have a good answer for. What is your favorite goofy pet question? So this is from a cat that I had years ago. His name was Dusty. He was honestly one of the best cats I've ever had. One of the best cats in the world. He was a sweetheart. And he was an interesting cat. But he was also a very, very smart cat. And one day, while no one was home, one of my mom's friends called the house. And this is back when we had landlines. And obviously the phone rang, and apparently my cat knocked it off the receiver, which answered the phone, and he meowed into it. We know this happened because that evening she called back and was talking with my mom, and this person thought that my mom had answered the phone and was playing a joke on her. Like, answered and meowed into the phone. She thought it was my mom answering the phone. But no, it was my cat. My cat had literally answered the phone and Ash 2 was calling. He didn't bother hanging up the phone afterwards. It's kind of hard to pick up the phone with no opposable thumbs. But that cat alone has so many goofy stories. Yeah, as my mom said, I rescued him when he was 4 weeks old. He was tiny. I mean, how old was I at the time? 14, 13, something like that. And he was tiny. I mean, he would fit in the palm of my hand. Sorry, there was a horn. As like a 14, 15-year-old. And I'm a tiny cat, really sick. He was rescued from a junkyard. He was literally a junkyard cat. Got him when he was really, really sick, and we had to isolate him from the other cats. So I would go into the bathroom where we had him locked in, and keep him company, and I would be sitting on the toilet, not using the toilet, but sitting on the toilet, and having this tiny little kitten in the crook of my arm, sitting there playing Game Boy, and he was just sitting there sleeping in my arms. And ever since then, I mean, he and I were, as my mom said, incredibly bonded. I'll never have a relationship with another animal like I had with Dusty. He was an amazing cat. I still miss him to this day. So we had to put him down probably about 10, 11 years ago, something like that. He got a brain tumor that was causing him to lose function of his front paws. So he was having a hard time walking or jumping. So unfortunately I had to put him down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he liked to sleep on your head. So yeah, he would sleep draped around the top of my head on my pillow, and he would slowly kick and shove you off the pillow. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I would be off the pillow and he would be sleeping on the pillow. But he would also like bite my hair. My hair was a little bit longer then than it is now. And he would bite my hair and like bite and tear it out. He wouldn't bite the skin. He would just get the hair and pull it out of my hair. He was a ridiculous cat, but he was such a sweetie. He was such a sweetie boy. All right, next question. What countries have I visited? Oof, oh, yeah. Thank you, Mom. Before we do the countries I visited. So, when I was in middle school, 8th grade, I had a French project that I had to do. And I did it, wrote it up, typed it up, printed it out. I had it on my backpack, ready to go the next morning. I woke up, and my cat had torn it to shreds. He liked to tear up paper and books, but he liked to tear paper into these little shreds. He would just bite and tear off little pieces of the paper. And he did that to my French report. So I literally had to go in to school the next day and say, hey, so I did the report. My cat tore it up. Can I print it out tomorrow or tonight and bring it in tomorrow? I don't think my teacher actually believed me, but she did give me a 1-day extension to bring it in the next day. But yeah, my cat ate my homework. I mean, there's that, saying of, oh, my dog ate my homework. That is that excuse. But no, my cat literally ate my homework. Yeah, it was a ridiculous cat. All right, but now on to the countries I've visited. So, let's see. Obviously, the U.S. That's where I'm from. So visited there, been there. Canada, England, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, Germany, Spain, Andorra, France, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. Is that it? I think that's it. Those are the ones I can think of that I've been to. I think I've named them all. Hey, Snake, how you doing? Well traveled. Well, a lot of that, all the Southeast Asia ones were, when I lived there. Cat, just stop clawing me. So Aphids sitting in my lap and just digging his claws into my leg. And when I try to remove his claws, he bites my hand. But yeah, I've traveled quite a bit. The Canada was actually, I was there for a genetics conference. England went there for my best friend's wedding, or one of my best friend's wedding. The Spain, France, and Andorra was actually a really cool one. So I went there. So after I finished in Peace Corps, after I did my 2 years in Peace Corps, I I stayed in Cambodia for a third year working for an NGO that worked to get kids in Southeast Asia with type 1 diabetes the medication and access to medical treatment that they needed. And as a fundraiser, we did a cycling trip in the Pyrenees Mountains. So we started in northern Spain, went up, and we spent a week cycling through the Pyrenees Mountains and ended in southern France. It was a really, really awesome trip. Snake, get to know Kongveal. So, number 1, who are you? Well, Snake, my name is Kongveal, as you know. Yeah, that's who I am. I am Kongveal. What got you into gaming? If you've answered that one, sorry you didn't hear it. Not exactly. I don't know. I've been gaming since the 90s. I mean, basically since we got our first computer, started with the gaming there. Also had, an Atari and Nintendo back in the early 90s. So I don't know. I've basically been gaming my entire life. I enjoy the stories. I enjoy the escapism from reality. I enjoy gaming. I always have. Ozark Trails. Don't know Ozark Trails. I do know Oregon Trails. Did play that one. Loved Oregon Trail. That was a fun game. All right, so is that an ad you hear in the background? It might be. All right, let me fix that, maybe? I don't know. I don't hear an ad, or don't see an ad in the music. Doesn't look like it's an ad. Maybe it's already past it. Sorry if there was an ad. There might be. I'm just streaming copyright-free music from YouTube, so there might be ads. Hey, Morning Darkness, how you doing? Yeah, Oregon Trail was the best. All right, well, I'll keep an eye on that in the future and the ads. Sorry if there are ads. I said it's just YouTube music. Squirrel has 1.2 pounds of meat. Yeah, yeah. And everyone dies of dysentery. Ooh, you're getting ready to do more painting. Nice, nice. Very awesome. All right, so the next question I have is, what was my experience living in Cambodia? And what was the biggest culture shock? So it was an amazing experience. It was... Ooh. You're moving on the 16th? Oh, that sounds miserable. Ooh. Good luck. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it was an amazing experience in Cambodia. It was one of the most incredible, but also one of the most trying and most difficult things I've ever done. I really enjoyed learning about the culture and learning about the people and learning about the history of a country that I knew very little about going into it. That was actually one of the reasons why I put Cambodia as one of my top countries to go to on my Peace Corps application, because I knew nothing about it. I knew very little about the area, knew nothing about the culture, and I wanted to learn. And I did. I learned a lot. And I met some really awesome people, both Peace Corps volunteers and host country nationals. I mean, the family I lived with is still very much my family to this day and always will be. They are incredible people, and I love them very, very much. And the biggest culture shock, I don't know. Honestly, going into it, I didn't really have a whole lot of expectations of what to expect. So I don't feel that except I knew that it would be different. I knew it would be different. That's the only thing I knew. So going there, I didn't really feel too much culture shock. Honestly, the biggest culture shock I got was coming back to the US after living in Cambodia for 2 years. And I was just overwhelmed at how big everything is here. I mean, the cars are huge. The stores are massive. The houses are ginormous. The portion sizes are enormous. The open spaces are massive here in the US compared to even much of Cambodia, where most of it is just open fields, open rice fields. But just everything here in the US is so much bigger than it was in Cambodia. And I remember getting off the plane. I came back after my 2 years of Peace Corps before I went back to do my third year there. And it was my first time back in the US. And I think it was, let's say I left in July of 2015, came back October 2017. So about 2 years, 3 months ish. And, we went to the grocery store because I wanted to get some things that I had missed out on for a couple of years. And I remember going into the different aisles. I think it was the cereal aisle. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, there were so many different types of cereals. There were so many boxes of cereals. And there's so much. I was like, what? It was overwhelming. I kind of froze up for a little bit. I'm like, what do I do? How do I choose? There's so many options, so much going on. Why do we have so much? That was definitely the biggest culture shock, was coming back and just, there's so much in the Western world, and so everything's so big. It was overwhelming. The other big culture shock thing was coming back and feeling like I didn't really belong, and feeling like I didn't really have a home anymore. I mean, I when I left, so I left for Peace Corps like a month after I graduated with my PhD. So, and I had just moved out of my apartment in North Carolina, put all my stuff in my parents' basement, and then left. And then I came back and I didn't have a place. I didn't belong. I didn't feel like I had a home. And that, honestly, still to this point, still feel that a little bit. That's, 6 years later, 7 years later, still feel that a little bit. But it dissipated over time. But yeah, I was just like, I didn't feel like I belonged back here. I didn't feel like the US was my home. I definitely didn't feel like my parents' home was my home anymore. And I don't know. I don't know. I had felt more at home in Cambodia than I did here. And that was rough for a while. That was really rough for a while. Luckily, I had my sister-in-law to talk to about that, because she was in the Navy and she had experienced some of that to a point. So that really helped. But yeah, I felt very alone, very isolated coming back, because another big thing was I changed a lot in those couple of years that I was in Cambodia. I changed a whole lot. And then I came back and it seemed like a lot of people didn't realize how much I changed, or didn't really hadn't really expected me to change as much as I did. And expected me to be the same person I was 2 years prior, and I wasn't. I really wasn't. So that was a big shock as well. But I think I missed a question from Snake. What was the best Cambodian dish or food? And I see Raymond says prohok. Yes, I love prohok. I don't know if that was my favorite, but I love prohok. So prohok is a fermented fish dish. They call it cheese. They call it Cambodian cheese. It's not cheese. It's fish. And a lot of Westerners really don't like it. It's a very pungent flavor, but man, it was so good. But probably my favorite dish was chakanya, which was fried ginger. Fried ginger with some sort of meat, typically pork. And then you put that on rice, and oh my god, it was so good. There was also a sour soup that was phenomenal. But really, I mean, there were so many good dishes in Cambodia that I really enjoyed. There weren't many things that I had that I didn't like. It was all very, very good. Hey, Christy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Raymond says, with someone who has done a food tour, you have to agree America has blown food out of proportion as compared to the rest of the world. We don't allow for that family bonding. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, wrong wrong ID. Oops. You just ate, now you're hungry. Well, I mean, try find some Cambodian recipes and cook some Cambodian food. It is good. Some lamuchu. Yes, I was thinking of some lamuchu. Absolutely. You know it. I'm impressed that you know so many Cambodian dishes. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, now that you're Caleb, welcome back, Caleb. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you've done a food tour, true, but that's still, I mean, I'm still surprised. I mean, even people who do a lot of food tours, I mean, Cambodia. So one thing I realized from my time in Cambodia is Cambodia really is, especially from the US, is oh, there's an ad. Let me mute that. Cambodia is really the forgotten Southeast Asia country, especially from the US. It's less so even from Europe or especially Australia, New Zealand. But when people in the US think of Southeast Asia, they think of, or visit Southeast Asia, they go to and think of Thailand or Vietnam. That's about it. And sometimes even Laos. But they don't often think of Cambodia. In fact, when I went to Cambodia, I can't tell you how many people were like, oh, where, or when I said I was going to Cambodia, they're like, oh, where in Africa is that? It's not. And that's the thing, is people in the US just don't know where Cambodia is. And if they think of Southeast Asia, Cambodia does not come to mind. So that's one thing I've tried to work on over the years, is spread awareness about Cambodian culture and Cambodian history. And yeah, it's an amazing country. And I highly recommend you visit there if you ever have the opportunity. It's a phenomenal country. You kept extensive notes on most of the dishes. You tried to keep the top 10 of each country you visited. Oh, cool. I would love to see that list at some point, if you don't mind. Good question, Sarah. What tea today? It's a chocolate rooibos tea. My last one of that, so I need to buy some more. It's very good. So that was Cambodia. So the next question. So this is from Gwen, from Gwen the Shield Maiden. Actually, the last couple were as well, but this one I'm especially attributing to her. She asks, all right, in all seriousness, how do you juggle a full-time job and 2 channels with multiple streams and videos a day? Well, luckily I don't do multiple streams or videos a day. Oh, and she also follows it up with, "Are you Superman?" And I'll say, luckily I don't do multiple streams or videos a day. I don't do more than one video or stream per day. But it is tough. It is a lot. Just most of my free time outside of work, outside of my job, is dealing with YouTube. Whether it's getting ready to stream, whether it's actually streaming, whether it's, making a thumbnail, or if it's, recording a video or editing. It's just how I spend most of my evenings and most of my time outside of work. Luckily, it doesn't take up all my time, but it does take up a lot of my time, and it's my hobby, it's my pastime, it's what I do. So that's how I do it, Gwen. Superman? Nah, it's just super brain. Yeah, exactly. What would you do if your computer disappeared and you couldn't play games or go online for an extended period of time? Honestly, that would be awesome. I would be fine with that. I love getting out into nature, love camping. I've done some extended camping trips, so I could do that, absolutely. Honestly, it would give me more time to do some of my other hobbies, which we'll get to soon, I think. I think hobbies is a little bit later, but yeah, I'd just free up some of my other time, which is nice. All right, so this is a two-part question. Why do you have 2 cats? And Erica followed this up with, yeah, why not 3? So why do I have 2 cats? So in part to keep each other company while I'm at work or away. Ooh, some of that green salted Kampot pepper. Yes. You know about Kampot pepper too, huh? Wow. Yeah, Kampot pepper is the best pepper in the world, in my opinion. I haven't had pepper anywhere near as good. And yeah, there's this salted pepper that is just to die for. I would just eat it as a snack. Just get a handful of salted pepper and just pop it in my mouth. It was so good. But yeah, 2 cats and not 3. So 2 cats again, just so that they have someone to play with, someone to keep each other company while I'm gone, while I'm at work, while I'm on vacation or traveling. But one of the reasons why I got Aphid and named him Aphid is I had Ladybug, and Ladybug, even though she's an older cat, she is still very much a kitten in a lot of ways and really likes to play, is very playful. And when I was in Cambodia, she was staying with my parents, and she would torture my parents' cat. And I'm like, well, I need to get her a toy to beat up. So the best kind of toy for her to beat up. You bought it the first time when we were in Cambodia and I talked about it. Ah, nice. Very nice. So yeah, I had to get her a cat to toy to beat up on. So I got Aphid. And it kind of... Aphid turned the table a little bit. He doesn't mind getting attacked by Ladybug. In fact, he'll attack Ladybug more than she likes even. But yeah, that's why I have 2. And why not 3? My apartment complex will only let me have 2 pets. I'd love to have 3 cats, honestly. I think that's what I would really want. I mean, 2 is great, but honestly, I'd love to have 3. But my apartment complex only lets me have 2 pets. So that's why I have 2. All right, so if I could change or add 3 things to Valheim, what would they be? And if I could remove 1 thing from Valheim, what would it be? One thing I would want to add is cats. I mean, the Vikings took cats on them with their ship, or took cats with them on their ships. That's something that they did. In fact, I think it was like the orange tabbies, the orange cats. that like all orange cats in Europe are descended from cats that the Vikings took with them as they went off raiding and trading. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see cats in the game. And there is a cat mod, yes, and I have used that. It's a little bit of a finicky mod, but I have used that mod. So I would definitely add that. What other things would I change or add? So I would like to change cooking serpent meat, allowing us to cook serpent meat before we have iron. Like it used to be back before the iron cooking station came out. And the reason for that is you can get serpent meat super early and before you get iron, and it is a big risk, a big challenge to get the serpent meat. It's a huge payoff to get it, but if you're putting yourself in such a big risk, you should be able to get that big benefit at the time that you're getting it. So I think that would be another thing that I'd want to change. Yeah, so there's that. And then a third thing that I want to add or change. I don't know. Dun Robin says, wish they would add sloths or meerkats. Interesting. Snake says, research notably found that DNA from an Egyptian cat matched that of a feline found at a Viking site in Germany. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the orange cats and cats spread throughout Europe in part because of the Vikings. So I would love to have cats. Oh, another ad. Sorry about that. Stupid ads. I don't know a third one that I'd want to add or change. If I could remove one thing from the game, what would it be? Oh, there's the third thing I'd like to change. I would like to make it so that we could weatherproof wood. I want to weatherproof wood so it doesn't get damaged by the rain. Let us weatherproof wood. Tethers. Ooh, tethers would be cool too. Yeah. What would I want to remove from the game? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything that I'd really want to remove. Yeah, I'm not sure. Technically, you can waterproof it now. Yeah, I've heard about that, but I haven't seen how to do that, so I don't know. Ooh, spears or arrows for fishing. Yes, that would be cool too. Or fishing nets. Fishing nets would be nice as well. All right, so yeah, those would probably be my changes to Valheim. Yeah, I can't think of something that I'd want to remove. Not sure. Oh, the shield. The shield protects from weather. Oh, okay. Nice. I didn't know that. I haven't used the shield generator, so I didn't know. That's nice. All right, so if I had to choose only one game to play, what would it be? Zom says, Greyleans, they gotta go. Hey, Zom. I almost said Greyleans, but they're a good early game mob, and the resin that they give is useful. So I don't know. They're annoying, but they're not that bad. If I had to choose only one game to play, what would it be? So that's tough. I can narrow it down to two. One would be Valheim, and the other one would be Europa Universalis 4. Those two games are probably by far my two favorite games, and I'd have a hard time choosing between those two. Kayla says the y'all could be removed and she'd be happy. Fair enough. Fair enough. Name a place you always wanted to visit, but for some reason never got to go. Why would you like to go there and why haven't you? So this is another tough one because name a place I always wanted to visit. The answer would be yes. I want to go everywhere. I want to visit everywhere. I want to see it all. But honestly, if I had to choose one, I would say I want to go to space. I want to go to outer space. I think that would be the adventure of a lifetime. I mean, I'm always looking for the next big adventure, the next, the next adventure. And I think going to space would be the adventure to top all adventures. And also just the things that, we could learn there, and, the benefits to humanity that we can get from traveling to space and going to space, and, all the scientific travels in space. That's why I applied multiple times to NASA to be an astronaut, and will continue to as they open up. But why haven't I? Well, it's very hard to get to space. Very hard to get to space. But most of the reasons why I haven't traveled to all the places I want to visit is money. I just don't have the money to travel to all these places, or the time, because I gotta work to get the money so I can travel as little as I do. But with unlimited funds and unlimited time, I'd literally want to go everywhere. Now, there are some countries I don't really want to go to right now, or various areas of countries that I don't want to go to right now because, safety. But I want to go everywhere. I want to see it all. I want to see everything. They need to work to feed 2 cats. That too. All right, so this is one from Gobi. I wasn't sure if I was going to answer this question, but I think I will. How many dogs or cats did you eat while in Cambodia? And I'll say, to my knowledge, 0. I probably did not eat any cats. Eating cats in Cambodia really isn't a thing that is done. But some people, especially in some areas of Cambodia, they do eat dogs on occasion. And it is possible that I ate some dog and didn't know it. You don't always know what the fish is, or what the meat is in these dishes. Sometimes it's really hard to tell what the meat is, and it could have been rat, it could have been dog, it could have been pork, it could have been beef. Who knows? And the way they cook it, it's frequently really overcooked. So a lot of like the textures and things it's just chewy. So it's kind of hard to tell. So it's possible. But to my knowledge, I did not eat any cats or dogs. Yeah, most of their dishes are fish or pork. There is some beef. There is some chicken. And there is a little bit of dog and a little bit of rat on occasion. But that's about it. So who knows? Caliph asks my mom if she's feeling better. So those of you that don't know, my mom recently donated a kidney, an undirected donation. So to just some random person who needed a kidney. You're awesome, Mom. And she asked if she's doing better, and my mom is doing better. She's got some complications that she's working on, but yeah, she's doing, recovery is happening, which is good. What is something that happened, I did, or participated in that no one believes me when I tell them? This is another difficult one because once you start to get to know me, pretty much anything that I've done, people believe. but probably the thing that people are most shocked about, or I guess not, I don't know what shocked about, but surprised about, is that I was a volunteer firefighter for a couple of years. Yeah, I was a firefighter who did it for free. If the food was ever stringent, meaning grainy and chewy, then it was not beef, chicken, pork, or fish. Yeah. But yeah, I was a firefighter for a couple of years. I only had luckily or also unluckily, only ever had one structure fire that I had to go to. And by the time we got there, the house was fully engulfed and it was a surround and drown sort of thing. We just sat outside and pumped gallons and gallons and gallons of water onto it. But yeah, so I never got to go into a burning building. I was kind of upset about that. I always wanted to go into a burning building. But yeah, I was a volunteer firefighter. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. Really miss it. I'd like to get back into that if I could find a volunteer station in the places I live. All right. So here's one not necessarily about me. Well, I guess it kind of is about me, but is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes. Yes, a hot dog is a sandwich. I mean, it's bread. That's, it's just a vertical sandwich. I mean, it's got bread with, meat in it and, sometimes some veggies and condiments, just like any other sandwich. I mean, it's basically like a hoagie or a sub or a taco. Yeah, a taco is a sandwich as well. Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. Hot dog is a sandwich. If I could become a full-time chef or baker, or if I could, would I become a full-time chef or baker? Probably not a full-time chef, but I don't know, maybe baker. I mean, I do love baking. I do love baking pies especially. And one of my ideas for like retirement plan is to open a pie shop. So yeah, probably would. Don't recommend being a full-time chef. They're considered leap of the world. Nah, y'all full-time chefs are incredible and highly respect all of you. And I thank you all for all of your work to make me food. Greatly appreciate it. How much does my personality change when I'm around different people? I mean, I don't know. It does change. To what extent is kind of hard to tell. But I mean, as with everyone, it does change. Yeah. If someone wrote a book about me, what would it be called? All right, so I do have this because I've considered at some point writing a memoir or a autobiography. Probably never will happen, but I've considered it. But it would be called Paths to Nowhere. And the reason for that is, again, I kind of realized this in Cambodia. So when I was in Cambodia, I would be biking around the villages and I'd see this little path in the middle of the trees or in the rice field. Hey, Jarlax, how you doing? And this path, looked like it didn't go anywhere. I'm like, hey, let's take it. Let's take this path that looks like it goes nowhere. This path to nowhere. And quite frequently, it did. It ended up nowhere. It just dead-ended or ended in, more rice fields or, ended into another path that went through more rice fields. I mean, most of the paths to nowhere did go nowhere. However, on occasion, some of these paths led to some of the most incredibly beautiful places I've ever seen. And I kind of feel like that's a lot of the way I've been. I mean, with the, not all those who wander are lost. I've taken a lot of paths that look like they go to nowhere, or look like they might go nowhere. And, kind of in one sense of the word, do go nowhere, because, like with the genetics, it kind of ended up not really going nowhere, because it kind of led me down the path that I am now, but it was kind of a path to nowhere. But some of these paths to nowhere, with the genetics, with the Peace Corps, have led to some of the most incredible experiences, incredible places, and incredible interactions that I've ever could have imagined. So paths to nowhere. What's on your shirt? So it's a big red bus. It's blood donation shirt. Big red bus is blood donation. One Blood is the organization, and they have the big red bus. So yeah, blood donation. All right, there's my list again. But yeah, I try to donate blood when I can. I haven't donated since I've gotten out here. I need to figure out how to do that. But when I was in in Florida, they would come to my office complex every 2 months, and I would donate blood every 2 months. So I would love to get back into that. I just need to figure out where and how to donate blood out here. Oh, you applied to be a driver for that. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so what is my Roman Empire? Which is something you can't stop thinking about. That's yes. I don't know. I have a lot of things that really interest me. I mean, of course, genetics and genetic engineering and genetic testing and using genetics for things is always something that's always on my mind, because I love genetics, and I think it's a really important thing to focus on, and it's really becoming the future of a lot. Future of medicine, future of epidemiology, future of public health. It has so much potential. Surprised I never became a geneticist. Well, I mean, as I said, I've got a PhD in genetics. I technically am a geneticist. Just the ability to do research the way I want it in the US just isn't there. I mean, I could go into academic research, which, as I said, would end up with me not doing any of the lab work. Would just end up with me writing papers and grants, or I could go into industry where all they care about is, I mean, a lot of times they do care about doing good things, but their bottom line in industry is make money. And if you're not making the company money, it's useless. And I don't want to do that. You're welcome, Jarlaxle. No problem. Raymond, what if the company was there? What would you do with it? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? But other things that I can't stop thinking about, other things I really love researching, love learning more about, is astrophysics, space travel, all those things. But I also love, quantum mechanics. I love learning about quantum mechanics, and a lot of it's way over my head. But I love learning about it. It's phenomenal, fascinating stuff. Taking the form of geneticists and actually applying to genetics to proving human life. So how would I do that? I mean, one of the big things is just using genetic engineering and gene therapy to remove some of these various genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis and breast cancer and some other things like that alone would be life-changing for humanity, not just the individual in general. But even just using genetics to, trace, disease outbreaks and disease transmission. I think that also is going to be huge, and using genetic. So there's another thing. So there's a so all right, brain function. Come on, man. So I've seen some studies that have shown that approximately 50% of humans that have ever lived throughout history, throughout our millions of years of history, 50% of humans have died due to malaria. And there are a lot of people that are working on genetically modifying mosquitoes to try to prevent arboviruses or mosquito-borne diseases like malaria, like dengue, like chikungunya, like Zika virus. And I think that's phenomenal, as long as we do it the right way. Because one of the ways that they're doing it that I think is not the right way to do it is they are making the male mosquitoes infertile, so that eventually, within a couple of generations, the mosquito population will be gone because the males can't breed. And I think that's a problem, because there are a lot of other organisms that rely on mosquitoes for various reasons, for food, for various other things. Exactly. It's bad for the ecosystem. And I think people who are working on this program aren't taking that into consideration. And that's a problem. But there are other people that are working to basically make the mosquitoes where they have a protein in their gut that will kill the malaria parasite, so that the mosquitoes don't die, but it kills the malaria and prevents it from transmitting the malaria. And I think that is awesome. I think that is the way to go about it. So I think things like that would be a great boon for society, for humans, and a great way to use genetics. So good question. Thank you for that. All right. I'm not exactly sure what. I think Gobi sent this question as well. It sounds like a Gobi question, but I can't remember. If you could shoot anything from a cannon, what would you pick? I don't know. I think it'd be cool to be shot from a cannon myself, like they do in the circuses. So me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. What am I putting off right now? So what I'm putting off right now is, that does sound like a Gobi question, doesn't it, Sarah? So what am I putting off right now? I am putting off making a map of a city for my D&D session tomorrow. So I'm starting a new D&D campaign tomorrow. Brand new campaign, first session, completely homebrewed campaign. And they're going to be starting out in the capital city of this country. And I haven't drawn up the map of the city yet. I need to do that. I've got, let's see, about 25 hours to do that. So I got to work on that this afternoon. Wing it. I basically am going to do that, but I need to have at least a general idea of the layout of the city. So it's going to be a rough city. It's not going to be a fully fleshed out city. And yes, I do remember that shooting cats out of a cannon. That was a great game. Loved it. 2-minute tabletop for the win. Yes, yes, definitely. Used to be a big D&D player. Nice. It's such a fun game. I love it. I love playing D&D. If I could choose one condiment to eat for the rest of my life, what would I choose? That's easy. Barbecue sauce. Any kind of barbecue sauce. I love it all. I love the East Carolina, which is more of the vinegar based. West Carolina, which is more the tomato based. South Carolina, which is mustard based. St. Louis barbecue sauce. The Texas barbecue sauce. All the different types of barbecue sauces. Yes, barbecue sauce. Any and every kind of barbecue sauce. That would be it. I'm making you hungry still? Yeah, sorry, making me hungry too. But here's another food question. Do I like onions? Yes, I love onions. Actually, one year for Christmas, I don't remember how old I was. My mom may have a better idea. But I got a whole onion, and my stocking from Santa. Yeah, so that year, I think it was that year, I got an onion. I've got a can of cranberry sauce, and I got some gold, silver, and bronze glitter, because at the time I loved gold, silver, and bronze. I was about 8. Okay, I thought it was about that. But yeah, that was a great Christmas. I loved getting the gold, silver, and bronze. I love the onion, and I love the cranberry sauce. So yeah, love onions. Dang it, you thought I was past the food stuff? I don't think there's any other food questions, so I think we might be safe. All right, next question. What are my top 5 favorite movies? So this one's difficult because it changes. It really depends. I'm gonna group these 3 movies into one, but the Lord of the Rings movies are some of my favorite. I love those. I think they did a fantastic adaptation from the books. Stayed true to the idea of the book, and honestly relatively true to the plot of the book without necessarily going word by word for the book and making it more appropriate for the big screen. But they did a fantastic job with those movies, so big fan of those. I also really love The Martian. Fantastic movie. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know what I would say are my other 3 favorite movies. And again, it will change from day to day, from week to week, depending on what I'm in the mood for and what I like at the time. So that's a hard one. What does your heart most desire? And what does your mind say about it? I don't know. I guess what my heart most desires is to try to help people in any way that I can. I feel a deep gut need. It might be another Gobi question. I don't know. Hey, Canaris, how you doing? But yeah, I feel this deep gut need to help people. I mean, in any way that I can, even if that's just giving the homeless guy on the street the 10 cents I've got in my pocket, or buying them some food, or helping put people's houses out when they're on fire, or help try to keep them healthy through epidemiology. I mean, I have to help people. And what's my mind say about it is, well, let's do everything we can to do that. Zom, you just wish Tom Bombadil was put into the movie. I do too, but I also understand why they didn't put Tom Bombadil in. And hey, Astrid, how you doing? I mean, he was awesome. He was probably the coolest character in the book, but kind of a side plot that doesn't really overly impact the main story. And it was a long enough movie as it was. I understand why they didn't put it in. I kind of wish they had, though. Have I answered the question yet? Also, hi Astrid, how you doing? Depends, Cash. What is the question yet? Not sure what you mean by the question. What was the first video game I ever played, and do I still play that game / franchise? Okay, Cash, I have not answered that one yet. It's coming up. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, it was my first video game I ever played, and do I still play that game / franchise? So, first game I ever played, I'm gonna go computer game, because who knows what my first video game was. I mean, my first video game on console was probably like Duck Hunt or Pong. How many of you missed? Well, you've missed about an hour and 20 minutes of questions and answers, so a lot. A lot. So no, I don't play those games anymore, but the first, and even the first computer games I played, I don't really play them anymore. There was one, what was it? It was like Midnight something. Midnight Rescue.
Today, not tomorrow, not next week.
Great old game. See, it came out in 89. Loved that game. You're a detective. Yeah, Midnight Rescue. Yeah.
So I need you to act now, so your donation can have the greatest
but
impact.
Yeah, you play this detective who goes to a school that's like haunted. Ads happening. All right, let me deal with that. That's a political ad too. Ugh. Don't do politics on this channel. But yeah, you go to this school and you try to solve the mystery. And it was a great game. Love that game. But really one of the first real games, especially the first real games that I really got into was Medieval Total War. And I love that franchise, played that franchise for a long time, but don't really do that anymore. Yeah, I've moved on to other grand strategy games. Tom did save Frodo from the barrel rights. Even if they had just put that in the movie, you would have been happier. Yeah. But again, it didn't really play into the plot of the movie, and it was a long enough movie. But I do agree. I do wish that Tom Bombadil had been in, because Tom is awesome. Poly, a Latin word meaning many ticks. Or meaning many. Tick, a blood-sucking creature. Politics, many blood-sucking creatures. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. If I could have a pet that wasn't a kitty, what would it be? I don't know. There are a lot of cool creatures out there. And I'm assuming we're talking about, if owning anything is legal. A Tasmanian devil that would be Gobi. That's for sure. Gobi is a Tasmanian devil. Absolutely. I don't know. That's a tough one. There are a lot of animals that I would think would be cool to have as a pet. But I'm also can't think of one off the top of my head that I'd really want. I don't know. Silver fox. Ooh, Fox, yes. A fox, any kind of fox. Silver fox, red American fox, a white fox, an Arctic fox. Arctic fox would be awesome. But yeah, fox. Fox would be cool. We'll go with that. A red panda. That would be neat. The easiest question for you, because I'd want a tiger. Well, I'd want a tiger too, but it said not a kitty. And, tigers are kitties. So I was going to not go with a tiger, but if we're doing wild cats as not being kitties, yeah, definitely a tiger, hands down, 100%, no questions about it. Absolutely. All right, so this one was from Artisan. When eating scones, would you go cream then jam or jam then cream? AKA, which English counties do you want to go to war with? I don't know. I don't eat scones. I'd probably just put a little bit of peanut butter and some jam on it. But I don't know. I don't know. Tiger's not a kitty. It's a big kitty. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. You're sure that was a trick question from the kitties? They're going to murder you tonight? Oh, I mean, likely. Blasphemer, you eat peanut butter on a scone. Okay. All the English counties it is then. Yeah, apparently. Ooh, a ginger scone. That sounds delicious. Trash pandas are really cool. Absolutely. They are cool. Yeah. Just don't go petting trash pandas. Or just don't pet wildlife in general. That's how you get diseases. That's how you get rabies. That's how you get salmonella. That's how you get avian influenza. Just don't pet wildlife. I don't understand why people will do that. Ginger and lemon scones. Oh, that does sound divine. Absolutely. All right, my worst food experience. I don't know. I probably had a lot, but one that I had recently was actually on my move out here. We were staying at this tiny little town, middle of nowhere, West Texas. And I mean, there were not a lot of restaurants around, but we wanted to get some Mexican food. So went there. I got the vegetarian tacos. And I don't remember what else. I think it's like I got the guacamole on it. And we got it to go, and I opened it up, and it was not what I ordered. I had meat on it, and it was not what I wanted, not what I ordered at all, and it was quite nasty, honestly. It was barely edible. Despite the fact that it wasn't what I ordered. It was disgusting. That place was absolute miserable. Yeah, vegetarian tacos. Tacos don't have to have meat on them. Absolutely, Whisper. So we'll go with that. I don't know if that was necessarily my worst food experience. I've probably had worse. I didn't get sick from it, so that's a benefit. But that was pretty nasty. Top 5 on my bucket list. 1, go to space. Oh, well, one of them is go to space. I don't know. I actually had some answers for this earlier. I was thinking about this the other day, and I had answers for it. But now I'm blanking. Well, I would love to learn to speak a bunch of languages. Become a polyglot. Learn how to speak. French, Spanish, German, Russian, Arabic, Swahili, Chinese, obviously get better at my Khmer. And I'd really love to learn some of the other more rare languages, especially the languages that are dying out, so that I can try to, help keep them alive. So I think that would be awesome. Of course, travel's up there. But yeah, I mean, I just have so many things I want to do. You didn't note down the answers already? What is this, a professional streamer? I'm a professional streamer, but I didn't say I was a good streamer. So there's that. All right, I think this question came from Sarah, I believe. You have to correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah. What are my 3 favorite and the least favorite smells? So I'll start with my least favorite smells, and I'm not going to go with the normal, vomit or feces, because no one likes those. So taking all the normal terrible smells out, and the rotten meat, and that all those smells, of course those are nasty. Of course no one likes those. So forget those. I'm going to go with some unusual ones that I don't like. And probably the one that I dislike the most is freshly cut grass. I know a lot of people really like that smell, but I cannot stand it. If I'm driving past someone who's cutting their grass, I roll up the windows, turn on the air, and I try to block it out. I cannot stand freshly cut grass. Horrible, horrible smell. Another smell that I really, really, really hate is smoke. Cigarette smoke, tobacco smoke of any kind, and marijuana smoke. I can't stand those smells. Third smell that I really dislike is car exhaust. Really, really don't like it. Canners doesn't like freshly cut grass either. Huh. Wow. You're the first person I've met that also doesn't like that smell. But smells that I do like. So I love the smell of rosemary. That's one of my favorite. Oh, you're making a grass pun. Okay. Well, that's not as interesting then. Never mind. But yeah, rosemary. Love the smell of rosemary. Love the smell of freshly baked bread. Ban him? Nah, I'm not gonna ban him for making a bad pun. Rosemary is known for memory recall. It is. That's one of your favorites too, the rosemary. Yeah, freshly baked bread, or related to that, just freshly baked pies. I love the smell of baking pies, or even just food being cooked. Pretty much any kind of food being cooked. I also love the smell of I'm grouping all of this together into one. Grilling meat. Grilled meat is phenomenal. I love it. Sorry, more food. More food. I'm sorry. Sorry, Erica. But the other thing that I really like the smell of is used gunpowder. I love the smell of burnt gunpowder. That's one of the smoke smells that I do like. Ooh, grass, or not grass, rain. I do like the smell of rain, or smell of snow. Just any smell of the different kinds of precipitation, and they all do smell different. Some people will tell you otherwise, but they do smell different. The smell of rain and the smell of snow are different. And if people tell you otherwise, they're wrong. Shall you start posting food pics? I mean, always. Fresh snow, not city street snow. Well, yeah, of course. Of course. Snow's not your favorite. You're biased towards rain. Fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense. All right, the next question. Sorry, Erica, there are a couple of food questions coming up here. Sorry. Earl Grey tea or Yorkshire tea? Well, I do like Earl Grey tea. I don't drink it anymore because I don't do caffeine. I don't think I've ever had Yorkshire tea, so I don't know what that is. But I loved Lady Grey tea. A little bit more mild. I love it. Phenomenal. But now that I drink herbal teas and, that aren't caffeinated, red rooibos tea is my favorite. But I also really love peppermint tea and lemon ginger tea. Those three are probably my three favorite teas. So I think this one was Artisan. Not sure. Definitely someone from England because of the way they spelled flavor. What is the best ice cream flavor and why is it cookie dough? So I'm surprised they're not into green teas. So I do like green teas, but green tea also has caffeine and I don't drink caffeine. So no. Yeah, I do not like chamomile. I hate chamomile tea. Can't do it. Can't do chamomile. But yeah, favorite flavor of ice cream and why is it cookie dough? Well, cookie dough is good. I'll give you that. But it's not my favorite. Mint chocolate chip or double fudge brownie are my two favorite ice cream flavors. Chunky chips, skinny fries, or potato wedges? Depends. I do like the skinny fries. I also really like the steak cut fries, the nice thick steak cut fries. Really depends on my mood. I'm not a fan of the curly fry though. Don't like curly fries. All right, so this one is definitely from Artisan because those English people don't know how to speak English. When you put a bog roll on the holder, do you put the sheet? Do you have the sheets feed from the front like a sane rational person, or the back like a complete sociopath? Basically, when you put toilet paper on the roll, do you have it over or under? And over. Yes, I do it the correct way. Put it over. Yeah. Steak cut fries were a kitchen mistake. Ooh. Interesting. I would like to hear more about that. Hey, Artisan. I think I missed you earlier. Oh, yeah, you said something about pizza pie. Yeah, I missed that. You had Jasmine Rubius. Jasmine Rooibos tea the other day. Should try to find some. Ooh, that does sound good. I'm going to have to try that. All right, so here's one that I told my mom I was going to answer. And because I told her how I was going to answer it. Who is your hero and why? Before I do that, Candace, I'm guessing Kong already answered the brain cell stressing questions. Maybe? I don't remember what those were. So maybe? I'm not sure. But let's see. They were cutting regular fries and they didn't know the correct size and then gave them out as an order and they became very popular. All right. Yeah. That's, yep. I believe it. Yorkshire is a country or a county in England. The most famous place in Yorkshire is York. Yep. I'd love to go to York. I didn't get to go to York when I went to England. I really want to go up there and see that. But yeah, so back to the question, who is my hero and why? And the reason why I told my mom I was going to answer this question is because my mom's my hero. And why? Because she is one of the best people I know. She is one of the most giving people that I know. she's like me, where she has this deep need to try to help people, and she does it if and when she can. And her donating a kidney to some random stranger is just a side effect, a symptom of the reason why she is my hero. And yeah, and yeah, if I could be like my mom, and unfortunately I am in a lot of ways, you know, I think I would be a good person and living a good life if I could be like my mom. Erica, he really thought it was going to be you. Yeah, as Karen said, you didn't threaten me enough. But we'll actually jump ahead questions. So this was one that I wasn't going to answer. Because I didn't feel it was appropriate. But who is my favorite Valheim streamer? So I'm not going to answer that because I have so many friends that are Valheim streamers, and I really enjoy all of them. And you know, I can't choose a favorite. But someone replied to that. But if you could, why is it Erica, and how much will she hurt you if you say otherwise? So, good point. My favorite Valheim content creator is Erica. Yes, please don't hurt me, Erica. Please. York is a nice town. Norwegians have gone there for holidays for over 1,000 years. Nice. Nice. Erica, you'll take it under consideration? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. So, yeah. So with that out of the way, so that Erica doesn't hurt me. The next question is Star Trek or Star Wars? Which is better? I can't say I like one better than the other. Well, depends. Depends on what we're talking about. So I really like both Star Trek and Star Wars. They're both great, especially if we're talking about the original trilogy of Star Wars. If we're talking about the original trilogy, fantastic. If we talk about the second trilogy, still good, still liked them. If we talk about anything past the second trilogy, it's all crap and I can't stand it, and they've killed Star Wars for me. But if we're talking about just the first 6 movies to come out, I love them. They're great. Even episode 1 that a lot of people didn't like, I still enjoyed. But I also really enjoy Star Trek. Of course, there are some of the Star Trek series that I enjoyed less. Enterprise wasn't as good. I actually haven't watched some of the newer things, but I like them both. I like all of them. I can't say one or the other. The safe answer is Babylon 5. So that's one that I haven't ever really watched. I watched a little bit of Babylon 5, but never really got into it. I'll have to give it another shot at some point. Deep Space Nine was another one that I never really got into. Never watched Farscape or SG-1, so can't say anything about those. Religion versus science. Not sure what you mean there, but not gonna touch the religion part of it. Not gonna go there if you're asking if I choose religion or science. So we'll skip that one. But yeah, so still so many things I need to watch. All right, dark or white chocolate, and then later got a follow up, and no love for milk or ruby. So not a fan of white chocolate. Not a huge fan of ruby chocolate. But darker milk chocolate depends. I like them both. I used to prefer. Oh, it was related to Star Trek versus Star Wars, religion versus science. Got it. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. I got you now. Thanks for the clarification. But yeah, I mean, in that aspect, both. But actually, in my college class ring, I have a quote from Einstein that I made a little bit shorter. Ruby chocolate. I don't remember how it's made, but it's got a slightly reddish tint. Yeah, you'll have to Google. Have to look it up. But it's all right. It's not my favorite, but it's all right. But yeah, on the inside of my ring, I have a quote from Einstein that I'm gonna mess it up. It says something along the lines of, I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't remember it. What was this quote? Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. And I like that. I like that quote. Whether you're religious or not, I don't think is necessarily a problem. But I think that, what people believe and the way people believe, is a good thing. I think having beliefs is important. Having a belief system of some sort, whether you believe in a god or gods, is good. Whether you believe in science or whatever you believe in, I think is important. But that's as much as I'll go into that. Yeah. So if I could be any character from Lord of the Rings, who would I be and why? So we'll go. I'm going to go with the Lord of the Rings books and not the movie, because I think what the movie did to Legolas is, not great. I mean, not bad, but they kind of ruined him. But Legolas from the books is who I would want to be. And of course, I would, I could always say, Aragorn. I do see, some of, I would like to be, Aragorn in a lot of ways, but Legolas would be it. Artisan, your religious text is the Gastronomicon. The highest text of the Church of Hedonism. Nice. Cthulhu. Yeah. Okay. Yep. But honestly, one of my favorite religions out there is the religion of the spaghetti monster, the flying spaghetti monster. I don't remember what that was called. Flying spaghetti monster. The Pastafarianism, or the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. If you haven't looked that up, do. It's awesome. Love it. It's funny. It's great. All right. So here you go, Canaris. To be or not to be? And the answer to that question is always, well, not necessarily always, but to be. Yes, to be. There you go. That's the answer. To be. What came first, the chicken or the egg? All right, so now you've done it. I can't remember who did this one, but to be or not to, or which came first, the chicken or the egg? You're getting a true scientific geneticist's answer to this question. This is the answer to this question. There are no other answers. All other answers to this are wrong. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Is the egg. The egg, 100%. And the reason for that is, think about evolution. So, and what eventually became a chicken. So there was evolution over time, genetic mutations that caused species to change over time. And the final mutation or mutations that turned whatever pre-chicken it was into a chicken occurred in a single egg. So the egg came first. And that's just if we're talking about the chicken, which came first, the chicken egg or the egg. But if we're talking about egg or any sort of egg or chicken, egg definitely came first. Because long before there were chickens, there were eggs. I mean, the dinosaurs were born in eggs. Reptiles and amphibians were born in eggs long before there were chickens. So yes, so eggs came before chickens. There, done. That's it. You thought it was the rooster? Okay, fair enough. All right. Sarah asks, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? I'd like to fly. I'd like to have the ability to fly. Teleportation would also be great. Invisibility would be great. But no, I want the ability to fly. I want to be able to see things from a different angle, to travel places without having to worry about travel and all the crap associated with it. So yeah, so I think flying would be awesome. Extrovert alert? No, not really. So I really am like on the edge of extrovert and introvert. Every time I take the Myers-Briggs or any of those other related things, I am literally like 50-50 extrovert, introvert. But yeah, I'd like to fly. I'd like to see things from a different perspective. Oh, my mom asked, why to be? I don't know. It's more positive than not to be. I mean, of course, there are some things that I don't want to be, that I'd rather to not be. But I'm an optimist and hopeful. So I think that to be is, and the positive side of it is better than not to be. So that's, yeah. Artisan asks, what became a chicken? A T-Rex? Oh, not so much a T-Rex, but yeah. Isn't there an island with all the kinds of crazy mutations? Jarlissa says it's called Great Britain. Nice. Chicken or egg? I'm talking about food again. Dang it. Yeah, teleportation would be great. Absolutely. Ooh, lobster rolls. I would love a lobster roll if I ate lobster. Lobster rolls are fantastic. Sarah would choose to be a shapeshifter. You could be anyone, even for a time. That would be cool. So this has been this has led to some disagreements and some hurt feeling, or some not hurt feelings, but yeah, some disagreements with some of the people I've told this to. But one thing that I would love, if I had the ability you know, obviously it will never happen, but I want to know and experience everything that there is to know, everything that there is to experience for all of eternity, for all of history. And I want to know and experience from all angles. So due to, you know, the different shapes and constructions of your eye, different setups of your rods and cones in your eye, and different neural pathways and different neurostructures in your brain, what you see as what I would call blue. You know, if we're looking at a flower and looking at a blue flower, the exact color that I see and the exact color you see are likely slightly different. Likely not much different, but potentially different. And I want to see that. I want to experience that. I want to see everything from all angles. You know, start at the beginning of time, beginning of everything, going through the end of everything from all potential viewpoints. And I want to do this because I want to have a better understanding of what everything has happened, what everyone has gone through. And it will help me. I mean, if I understand what people have gone through, I can better empathize with them, can better understand why they have the beliefs that they do, why they are doing the things that they are. And, you know, that's one reason why I wanted to go and do Peace Corps. I want to travel to all these places because I want to learn about the different cultures. I want to experience the different cultures. I want to experience the different people and to have a better understanding of why they believe the things that they believe, why they do the things that they do. And I mean, I very well might end up hating humans more. Absolutely. That is possible. But I think I'm an optimistic and hopeful enough person that I can do that. And of course, you know, the way I like to say it is, you know, I hope there is an afterlife. I hope there's an afterlife because I want to spend all of eternity doing this. I want to spend all of eternity in my afterlife, starting at the Big Bang or whatever came before the Big Bang and going through the end of time over and over and over again, experiencing it from all potential viewpoints. All right. I'm missing a lot of things about looks like a lot of different superpowers that y'all have or y'all want. But there was also a question. Will you go skydiving if you haven't already? I have. Loved it. Want to do it again. Absolutely. It was so fun. Actually, my instructor said to me, you know, I like to say that this is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. And honestly, it probably was. It was awesome. Loved the experience. Really want to do it again. But yeah. But Raymond says, I do believe in the good of humanity every day. You see often not to believe otherwise. Yes, I agree. I mean, I see the good in humanity. I also see the bad in humanity. And it is very difficult. It is very challenging to stay optimistic, stay hopeful when you see all the crap going on in the world. But I also am of the mindset that I've got to try. I've got to try staying hopeful. I've got to try staying optimistic. I've got to try to keep seeing the good in people, see the good in humanity, see the good in the world. Or otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in trying? I gotta try to stay hopeful. Kenner says that's a whole other topic, although there's merit to what the Joker said. People are often one bad day away from breaking. They are often one bad day away from breaking. And that's why one thing I try to do is I try to make my interactions with people as positive as possible. You know, even if it's just saying, hey, I hope you have a good day, or how are you doing today, or giving them a smile, you know, something to, you know, improve their day a little bit, because they might need it. They might need that slight positivity to help keep them from breaking. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly, Mom. Yeah, you can turn that around. People are one smile away from feeling better. So yeah, I try, even with all the crap in the world, even with all the evil in the world, even with all the, you know, earth circling a drainness of the world, you know, I try to keep it, try to stay hopeful, try to stay positive, and try to improve the lives of those around me in any small way that I can. Don't look at what's going on here in England right now if you're trying to sow full in the humanity. Dude, we got the same stuff going on in the US too. So I know what's going on in England. I know what's going on in the US. I know what's going on in Ukraine and the Middle East and all over the world. There's a lot of shit in the world. Excuse my language, but there is. But I do what I can to make the world a better place in any small way I can. And if other people do the same, if everyone did one small nice deed in their day, will make the world a better place. So I try to do that. But howdy, Crumbs. You're late? Yeah, we're going for 2 hours. Stupid real life crap ruining internet. I know, right? So now you have the brain cell in the US. What am I going to do to make America great again? Well, I'm trying to make America great with my job. Yeah, I'm trying to. So I, as I said, I'm an epidemiologist, and in my job, I work with, work in STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, and I am hopeful that through my work, I will not only be able to help people live healthier lives, sexually and biologically, but also help deal with the stigma of having an STD and help overcome that. Because STDs are incredibly common, and a lot of them are curable. And for the most part, they're not a bad thing. I mean, of course, you want to try to avoid them if possible, but, you know, they shouldn't be stigmatized. And I hope that through my work, I can help keep people healthy, keep people from getting STDs, and also, you know, help their mental health and mental well-being with the removing of the stigma. Caleb and Sarah say their experience is that no good deed goes unpunished. That may be, but that's no reason to not keep doing good deeds. Yes, they may go punished, but I'm going to keep doing it. I will keep trying to do the good deeds, even if I get punished for it. I don't care. I am willing to sacrifice myself to help improve the lives of other people. I mean, yeah. I've long said, and my mom understands, but also doesn't like it. But I am willing to sacrifice even my health or my life to help improve the lives of other people. If that's what it takes, I will do it. I mean, I'd rather not do that because that will stop me from being able to improve the lives of other people, but I'm going to keep trying to do good deeds, and I'm going to do it. Yeah. And, I hope that other people are willing to do that as well. And other people do it a lot more than me, and I wish I could do it more than I do, but yeah, limitations. There are limitations. That's why they say being good is altruistic, and many people don't want to do that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's hard. It is hard to be altruistic. It is hard to want to do what is good for other people. Because unfortunately, the way our society is set is, what's good for other people is frequently not good for you. And people are frequently, for right or wrong, I don't judge people, or try not to judge people, but frequently people want to do what's best for them, and that's definitely understandable. I get it. You got it. I even if how much I want to help other people and want to do good for other people, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. You can't pour tea from an empty teapot. You got to take care of yourself before you can take care of others, but I do what I can to take care of others as well in any way that I can. It's often the fruit tree, the fruit bearing tree that's pelted by rocks. Don't know that saying, but I like that. I can actually work in advertising. It's hard for you to believe that there are more selfless people. The occasional few are always a nice surprise. Yeah, I mean, I really do think that there are more out there than we see sometimes. Just we don't always see people at their best. We frequently see people at their worst because people are stressed. People are under a lot of stress. They're, trying to survive this crazy world, trying to deal with all the crap in the world, trying to, live, trying to make their lives, livable, much less good. And that's stressful. So we frequently see people at their worst and we don't see them at their best. But I still think that, we do get to see them at their best at times. Dadfield says this stream has gone on long enough. I'm not that interesting. Okay, fine. I'm still gonna keep going. I still have some questions, but I'm enjoying this and we're having a good conversation. So if people are enjoying it, I'm gonna stick around and keep talking. Snake says one way to make the world a better place is to not watch the news because that doesn't help anyone. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Splash, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, I'll keep going for a little bit. Got a handful of questions left. We just talked about, got fairly philosophical into, helping people and doing good and are people good and all that. So that was a fun conversation and one that I love talking about and would be more than willing to talk about more later in Discord if anyone wants to join me there. Not immediately, but at some point. So I love that kind of talk. All right, so this one, I don't remember who did this one. It may have been Jarl Axel, actually. How do we reconcile quantum mechanics with traditional relativity? Yeah, we just do it. We do it with math that we do it with math. That's how we do it. Yeah, I know I've got the map to do. That's why I'm not going to do the conversation immediately afterwards. But yeah, we do it with math. That's how we do it. We just don't know what math will do it yet. All right, and I think this one was crumbs. I could be wrong, but I think it was crumbs. We know the answer is 42. But what is the question? That was not you? Okay. Not you. All right. All right, so we know the answer is 42. That wasn't crumbs either? All right, I can't remember who I got these from. I didn't put the names of who I got these from. The power of friendship is how we reconcile it. Nice. It does sound like Whisper, but I don't think it was. Maybe. I can't remember. So what is the question if the answer is 42? Let's see. The question will be... It may have been Erica, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. The question is... How many kilometers in a marathon? There we go. How many kilometers in a marathon? That is the question. The answer is 42. Hey man, always the driven answer to it's always driven answer to find the equivocal hidden answer in which we seek. Though the unknown is only hidden, and we aspire to find truths that is hidden. Yeah. Which assassin was well known before 47? I don't know. The question is, how much longer? How far? Yeah. So that question that my mom gave is from my move out here. I don't remember what it was, but we're where we were. But someone asked, how much further do we have? And I think the other person, I think it may have been me, answered 42. We have 42 further units of measure to go, units of distance to go. I know, I was rounding a little bit, Snake. Jeez, I know it's 42.2, even 42.10 or 195, but 42. It's 42 kilometers. I don't know Agent 47. No. Is that from Get Smart? The show Get Smart? Is that what that's from? I'm not sure. Oh, chat didn't know. Okay. Oh, Hitman. Okay. It's from Hitman. But been a long time since I played that game. I haven't played that game since college. But love that game. Played that game a bunch in college, but haven't played it since. All right. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? 42. There we go. That's the question. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? It's 42. Could chuck 42 wood. If you're in England, it's 26.2188 miles. Yeah, same in the US. It's 26 kilometers here. Let's see. Do I have any thoughts or opinions that I'd never tell my family or friends because I know it'd start a discussion or conflict that I don't want to have? Likely. Probably. Yeah, I'm sure I do. Yeah. I can't necessarily think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure I'm sure I do. Yeah. All right. This one's going to start another discussion in chat that I think will be interesting. Pineapple on pizza. Yes. Pineapple on pizza. Absolutely. Best pizza combination. Sorry if you're hearing noise. We got a truck going outside. Yeah, pineapple on pizza. Absolutely. So best pizza, pineapple, jalapeno, and onion. And you can add black olives if you want, but pineapple, jalapeno, and onion. Best pizza ever. Pineapple on pizza makes Raymond cringe. Yeah, hopefully there are no Italians here watching. Sorry if there are. Pineapple's not even real. Apples on pines? Pfft, Americans. Nice crumbs. I don't like Hawaiian pizza. I never liked Hawaiian pizza because of the bacon on it, because of the ham on it. Didn't like that. But I have a couple of related questions, and I'll get to that one, Sarah, that you just asked. Honey on pizza? I don't know. I've never tried that. I'd be willing to give it a shot. Depends on what it's with. Ham, pineapple, and bit of barbecue. Remove the ham, and add the jalapenos, add the jalapenos, and we'll be good with that, Kyle. Also, howdy, Kyle. How you doing? Snake will eat anything if he's hungry, even pineapple on pizza. Nice. But yeah, follow-up question that is pineapple on lasagna. I don't know. I've never heard of that. I'd be willing to give it a shot. I don't know. Don't know. That could be interesting. Baked beans on pizza if you give it a shot. If you bake beans on pizza, if you're brave enough. I don't know, I'd give it a shot. I had seafood pizza when in Cambodia. That wasn't very good. Didn't enjoy that. I think there's another one. Nutella on pizza. I mean, I have had dessert pizzas that have had Nutella on it. That's good. Yeah. All right, but Sarah, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be? Oh. I mean, I have a lot of things I'd want to tell my younger self, especially depending on how young we go. Hi, Aphid. Aphid says it's lunchtime, and honestly, I agree. But gotta finish this up first, baby boy. Let's see. What would I tell my younger self? My mom will be my hero someday. Well, I mean, sure. I that. I think my younger self, in a lot of ways, probably already knew that. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. Don't stop trying. Yeah. Be a good person. Things. I don't know. I don't know what I would tell my younger self. Take it easy on yourself. That's what it is. Be easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself all the time. I always have set very high standards for myself. Standards that I set are much higher than I expect from other people. and standards that are nearly unachievable in a lot of ways. And when I don't live up to my standards, I'm very, very hard on myself. And hi, Aphid. I know. A few minutes, we'll give you food. And I always need to take it easy on myself and be more gentle on myself. Yeah. I mean, that's something I still need to tell myself today. So that's definitely the thing I would tell my younger self is take it easy on yourself. Don't be so harsh. Don't it's okay to set high standards, but when you don't meet your standards, don't beat yourself up so much. Crumbs, if you tell yourself, younger self to chill out, future you is going to blame him for everything regardless. Yeah. Yeah, Kayla, he's definitely not accepting my reason for the lunch delay for sure. Raymond, standards that are unrealistic. Yeah. Eyes could kill chat. Cat in the background. Yep, absolutely. He's like, you need to feed me now. So I think we could all hear that. Yeah, likely. I'm sure most people at least could hear that. Charles Axel, one day you should start a YouTube channel and make a little community with strange people. Yeah. Raymond, I'm not strange. I'm weird. There's a difference. If you say so. You put pineapple on a lasagna, take pictures, and send them to a good Italian friend to upset them. Nice. It's strange that you were weird instead of strange. Oh, all right. Shots fired. All right. In that case, we'll get back to a couple more questions. So far, I only have 5 more questions that I have on my list. And if we have any other last minute questions, I'll answer those as well. So this is one that I've actually thought of a lot. If you could go back to school and learn a whole new vocation, what would it be? And before I answer that, Zom, dear younger me, there's something called the internet in your future. You'll spend a lot of time there looking at cat videos and wondering why you started looking at cat videos. Yeah. Canners, if you tell your younger self, if anything, you tell your younger self, trust your gut more. The only thing you have any regrets for in life is the things you went in different direction from what your gut told you to. I like that. Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, if I could go back and learn a whole new vocation, it would probably be, I don't know. There are two things that I would be interested in. Astrophysics or linguistics. Astrophysics, just fascinates me. Astrophysics or astrobiology even, just fascinates me. I love all things outer space, and I love learning more about it. And that I think that would be something that I would really like to go back for. Or linguistics, and the reason for the linguistics, even though I'm terrible at learning languages, even though as I said earlier, want to become a polyglot and learn how to speak 18 different languages. I'm terrible at learning languages, but I love learning about how languages developed, how they began, and how they changed and evolved over time, and continue to change and evolve over time. And I would love to learn more about that. I think that would be fascinating. Sarah, you could see me doing either of those things. Oh, thank you. I mean, you can tell you that being a physics engineer is totally worth it. Yeah, I think it would be really, really cool. I think it would be really cool. Splash, in your opinion, the only thing you regret are the things you decide against when you had the chance. Jump on every opportunity. Yeah, I tend to agree. The things that I frequently regret the most are the things that I don't do. Absolutely. Sometimes I regret the things that I do. Actually, speaking of that, I'm going to answer a question that hasn't been asked yet. What is one thing that you regret above all others, or regret most, or what is one big regret you have in your life? And I don't remember exactly when it was. I don't exactly remember what happened, but I was in elementary school, middle school, something like that. 5th grade, 6th grade, something around there. And I was on a school field trip. And we were on the bus, and I said something mean to this girl in my class. I don't remember what I said. No idea. No idea who I said it to either. I don't remember who it was. But I said something mean to this young girl in my class. And almost immediately, I regretted it. Almost immediately, I felt bad about it. And still to this day, 30 years later, I feel bad about it. I feel terrible about it. And I wish I could go back and not say whatever mean thing I said. So I that is by far one of my biggest regrets in my life, is saying whatever mean thing I said to that one girl once upon a time in 5th grade. But going back to the previous question, Zom is a spaceman. Anything with space related gets your attention. Yeah, space is so cool. So cool. There's so little we know about it that it's awesome. Crumbs, you'd seriously be into deep sea research and biology. Some weird stuff down there. For sure. Sure there is. Gin and tonic. Gin and tonic's good stuff. If I drank again, gin and tonic, yes, fantastic. Or gin and ginger ale. I don't know if y'all have ever had that, but gin and ginger ale is phenomenal. If I could live on the moon, would I take that opportunity? Hands down, in a heartbeat, yes. If I could take the opportunity to live on the International Space Station, or whatever space station we have, or a permanent, semi-permanent, or permanent station on the moon or Mars, I would take a one-way trip there if that's what it took. Yes, 100%. Sign me up now. Yes, please. Gin and vermouth, also good. Gin, vermouth, and a little bit of triple sec is also really good. Absolutely. Don't you know that the moon is made out of cheese? You can't live there. Would I take my cats with me? Yeah, absolutely. I can't leave my kitties behind. Definitely. Deep sea research is great too. In fact, we probably know more about outer space than we do our own oceans. Yeah, quite likely. Cats, feed us first before you go to the moon. Absolutely. All right, so the next question. What is my favorite / least favorite D&D class, race, skill, feat, etc.? So my favorite class is probably, I don't know, I really like playing a rogue. Rogues are a lot of fun. I also really like playing a druid or a ranger. Again, it's the whole nature thing. I've taken some of those, what D&D class are you? And more times than not, I'm a druid. I like protecting nature. What can I say? So yeah, probably I do enjoy playing a druid. So yeah, probably a rogue or a druid are my two favorite. Floating city on Venus is in the future. That would be cool. That would be cool. The moon's not real. It's just a lamp. Oh yeah. My bad. I don't know. There really isn't a class that I really don't like playing. I know the bard the least. That's the one I've played the least, but I don't. There really isn't a class that I've played at least that I don't like playing. I like playing all the races. Yeah, I think they're all interesting. All have unique flavor, and I really like that. Skills can all be useful in certain situations. Feats, I don't really play with feats all that much as a player. At least I haven't in the past. But as a DM, I do have a least favorite feat, and that is the mobile feat. I hate the mobile feat as a DM. Free action or free bonus action to disengage every time. So no attack of opportunity. No, forget that. Hate it. Horrible. No. And of course, one of my players for tomorrow is a monk, and he took the freaking mobile feat. Thanks. Great. So I dislike that one as a DM, but no, I think the feats are really fun. I haven't played around with them too much. I'm unfortunately the forever DM of my group, so I don't really get to play as a player very often. So I don't know. Let's see. Crumbs is a rogue, so often that's not even a question. Have I played MERP? I do not know what MERP is, so no, I have not played MERP. Splash usually goes for something charisma based. Makes sense. Fair enough. I can see that in you, honestly. Splash says, Crumbs, the character you played last, the one who had magic. He was fun. The cat thinks, what are you talking about? You are human and so my slave. Feed me, human, before I eat this bug. Disgusting, by the way. So feed me now. Yeah, actually, Aphid loves chasing insects and eats insects. Makes me very happy. Oh, Merc. No, I was talking about what Zom asked about MERP. MERP. It's like D&D, but it's Middle Earth role playing. Oh, that'll be fun. I'd like to play that. But I have a D&D character that I really want to play. If I ever get a chance to play a character again, this is going to be it. So it's a halfling, but he's mentally challenged. He's slow, and because of that, he's mute. And I gotta go, Kayla. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a nice day. But yeah, he's mute, and because of that, and the fact that he just couldn't interact with the tribe very well, he was abandoned, left into the woods to die. But he didn't die, and he learned how to survive and became a barbarian. But he lived almost his entire life in the woods. And just his goal is survive at all costs, because that's what he had to do when he got dumped into the woods. That's all he knows how to do. And he's not a smart guy. So, I mean, think like, 5 intelligence or lower, and also like a 5 charisma or lower. Because he doesn't know how to interact with people, because he can't. He hasn't for 20 years of his life. But he somehow gets hooked up with this group, and they become his family. They become his lifeline. And he does whatever he has to survive, but also to keep his tribe, keep his clan, his new party, his new family alive. But he doesn't know how to talk, and he only interacts with them by grunting and gestures and things. So it'll be a very hard character to play, but I think it'll be fun. But yeah, so he's a halfling barbarian that's completely butt naked, not a stitch of clothing on him. And he uses a 6-foot pole weapon. So he uses we've got this 3-foot halfling using a 6-foot stick with an axe tied to it as his weapon. I think that'll be a fun character to play. I really want to play that. And Splash said she played a Tabaxi Rogue once. I did too. I played a Tabaxi Rogue that was a bit on the naive side. At least started out a bit on the naive side. And, very talkative. Liked talking to people, liked to learn things, and just never shut up. I mean, and I role-played the character fairly well. I mean, so much so that I think my dad was starting to get annoyed with how much I just would not shut up. And talking about just anything and everything. And it's so excited. It's just so cool. Oh, I want to learn about this. Can you tell me about this? These giants. Can you tell me about these giants? I've met a giant once. That was really cool, and would just not shut up. But wanted to learn everything. Wanted to, see everything, and was so naive and didn't understand that taking things was bad. So would walk through the market. Oh, see something cool there that I want, so I'd take it. And then, one of the party members was following behind me and would pay for whatever I took. So I wouldn't get in trouble for stealing, but that was a fun character. I really enjoyed that character. Yeah, that was great. Should we get an online D&D game going? Heck yeah, I'm here for it. Absolutely, Crumbs. I'm up for it. Uncommon combinations are always fun. Yes, absolutely. My tobacco is nicer than yours. Pushing glasses off bars and stealing all the food. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, mine was a nice character. Just super excited, super friendly, super naive, and super outgoing and charismatic, but that kind of backfired. Got her into a little bit of trouble. And luckily she had her party there to help get her out of trouble when needed. And I was starting to, I almost got taken for that character, almost got taken for a ride by a cult, like an evil, thieves guild. I was doing some evil things. And, and she kind of realized that, all right, not everyone's nice. So we need to make these not nice people pay. So she was trying to infiltrate this thieves guild and to try to take them down from the inside before that campaign ended, unfortunately. That was a fun character. I really enjoyed it. I'd love to bring that character back at some point too. Erica, your most OP character was named Ellie Woods. Yeah, you've told me about that character. I don't remember much about it, but it sounded like a really cool character. But yeah, a lot of fun in D&D. D&D is a great game. I love it, and I can't wait to start my campaign tomorrow. And Crumbs, we can definitely try to start working on an online D&D group. I'll put a D&D room on my Discord. Actually, speaking of Discord, let me drop the link for that for anyone who might want to join. So yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. So it's supposed to be a temporary character spelled Ellie Woods from Legally Blonde. Okay, that's right. Asimir, Eloquence Bard / Divine Soul Sorcerer. Passive insight of 30. Holy crap, I'm sure your DM hated you. My gosh. Never missed anything. Yeah, I mean, maybe I could actually be a player too. Again, that would be nice. or someone else who would be willing to DM at least occasionally. I don't mind DMing. I like DMing. I really do. Being a DM is a lot of fun. I really like, coming up with the story and, helping people have fun. I tell my group, as long as y'all are having fun, I'm having fun. My job as a DM is to have fun, or is to make sure y'all are having fun. But I also really enjoy being a character, and I miss it. But yeah, we'll have to try to get that set up at some point. All right, so I've got 3 questions left. 2 are linked. What is your quest? What is your favorite color? So, my quest is to try to make the world a better place. Try to improve the world in any way that I can, or at least improve the lives of people. If I can improve the lives of one person, that's a good thing. So, yeah. So my quest is to make the world a better place, or at least make the world a better place for as many people as I can. And if that is one person, great. If that's, 1 billion people, fantastic. My favorite color is red. Actually, kind of almost this red color. Actually, more of the red of my shorts, but you can't see that. But yeah, red is my favorite color. And then the last question I have is, what is your favorite genre of movies and books? So, yes. I mean, I really like pretty much anything, especially movies. I mean, it really depends on the mood I'm in. I really like sci-fi and fantasy movies. I love horror movies. Horror movies are phenomenal. I love movies that are based on true stories. I like rom-coms. I like action movies. I like pretty much anything as far as movies go. It really just depends on my mood. But if I had to say a favorite, I'd probably say I really like horror movies. I really like horror movies. I just wish there were more good horror movies. I don't like just the jump scare, gory horror movies, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre type movies, the Saw movies, those are fine, but I don't want to just be jump scared. I want to be scared deep down. I want to be like looking over my shoulder, like, what the frick's gonna get me? And I do like things like the paranormal movies. Those are fun, but I mean, yeah, those are fun, but not really the best horror movies either. I'm trying to think of a good horror movie that I like. The Exorcist is a great movie. That is a great terrifying horror movie. Yes, absolutely. I want the good thriller movie that just like scares you deep down, scares you to your soul. Those are the good horror movies. Those are the ones that I like. As far as books, again, I like a wide range of things. Historical fiction are good. One of my favorite historical fiction books is called Agincourt. It follows this fictional character in fictional archer in the English army through the campaign, through Henry V's campaign, through France, ending in the Battle of Agincourt. Great book, phenomenal book, highly recommend it. I also like books that I can learn from, whether they're books about science or physics or history, biographies, any book that I can learn from, I really enjoy. I enjoy satirical movies, or satirical books. But but probably the ones I like the best are sci-fi and or fantasy books. Yeah, I enjoy a lot of different types of books. Crumbs. Yeah, they don't make a lot of good horror movies these days. It's all special effects. Exactly. I have a problem with that. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like the jump scare on occasion. That's fine. But jump scares are gonna get me. I'm human. I'm gonna jump. But I don't really find those scary. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah. The problem with a lot of horror movies is they're just so predictable. It's all the same story. It's like, oh, you're zooming in on this hallway. You're looking at the face of a person, except they're off to the side. Guess what? Someone's going to jump out from over here. Something's going to appear right here. No crap. It's all predictable. It's like a lot of scary movies are just way too predictable, way too cookie cutter. So I love watching horror movies, but it's hard to find a good one. And I always start watching them and I'm like, okay, this is another crappy horror movie. Got to stop this and try to find another good horror movie. But there's just so few of them out there. But that's the last question I had on my list. So Sarah asks, B.O.B. Not sure what B.O.B. is. Snake, me zooming in on the freezer. No bacon. Ooh, Band of Brothers. Yes, love Band of Brothers. Phenomenal series. Loved it. I watch it on a regular basis. In college, I went to a military college, for those of you who don't know that. I think a lot of you probably do by now. But yeah, went to a military college, and every semester we would have a down week in between the end of classes and exams. And during that down week, in addition to studying and oftentimes in a place of studying, I would watch the Band of Brothers series. So I watched that 8 times in 4 years and I still watch it on a regular basis. So it's such a good series. So good. Love it. So me zooming in on the freezer. No bacon. Oh no, how horrible. Horror movies, the older, the better usually. Frequently, yeah. Actually, there was a relatively new, now 20-plus-year-old movie called The Descent. I don't know if any of y'all have watched that. Pretty good movie. It's about a group of women who go cave diving, go spelunking, and it hits the fan. But it's really, really well done. Very good movie. But I watched the sequel last night. I didn't know there was a sequel until last night. I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. It was a good movie, so I'll check out the sequel. It wasn't good. Don't watch the sequel. Don't watch The Descent Part 2. It's not good. Not worth it. Artisan, all TV is predictable. They have to do foreshadowing or it ends up being awful and too random. I mean, yes and no. There's a difference between foreshadowing and following the same plot of every other movie in the genre. I mean, you can foreshadow things without it being predictable. Like a bad example of predictability. Oh, am I getting, okay. Yeah, a bad, version of predictability was, the episode 7 of Star Wars. I don't remember what it's called, but episode 7 of Star Wars. And, you know, as soon as I saw that they had the destroyer planet, the sun destroying planet, whatever it was called, and I'm like, oh, well, they're going to blow this up like they did the Death Star in episode 4. And guess what? They did. And as soon as I found out that Kylo Ren was Han Solo's son, I'm like, well, they're going to have Kylo Ren kill Han Solo. I'm like, and guess what? They did. I mean, it's just predictability is not great. Foreshadowing can be fine though. And tropes are important, and, you know, tropes, everything in movies and books and TV shows are tropes, but it can still be done in a way that it seems new and unique and different. So yeah, there's a difference between predictability and following tropes, or between foreshadowing and following tropes and being predictable to a point where it's not enjoyable. That's the problem I have with a lot of the horror movies, is they're so predictable it's not enjoyable. Yeah. Sarah, have I seen Hush? I think so. Is that the one about the what's that movie about? Hush movie. Yeah, about the deaf woman who's home alone. Yeah, that is a great movie. That is a good scary movie. That is an example of a good scary movie. I love that one. Phenomenal movie. Bad example of predictability. How about The Simpsons? Don't know. Don't watch The Simpsons. Don't like The Simpsons. Horror done in the 70s was so realistic that a judge ordered all the actors to attend court to make sure they were all still alive. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Blind Woman, yeah. Blind, that's what it was. Blind Woman, yeah. Great movie. Highly recommend watching Hush. Phenomenal movie. If you like scary movies, that one will scare the living crap out of you. Bye, Mom. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, another good older horror movie is called Magic. It's about a ventriloquist dummy that comes to life and starts killing people, or does it. Really good movie. Highly recommend it. Again, one of the problems with movies and TV shows is that people funding it often limit the creativity and we get predictable stuff. Yeah, it's because that's what people like, the vast majority like, and what will sell. Yeah, unfortunately. I think I've seen They. I think that was pretty good. Cannibal Holocaust. All right, I'll have to check that out. I'll write that down. Cannibal Holocaust, a 1980s movie. All right, yeah, I'll check that out. Well, it's what people funding like, but it's what the people funding, they will fund it because that's what will sell. That's what will bring back the money, which means that's what people like. Because they'll go see it in the theaters, and if they go see it in the theaters, they'll bring back the money so that they get their money back. So that's what they get funded. And these people are all about, they care about the money. They don't care about necessarily doing what they like. They care about what will make them money. So they do things that will bring them back the money. They works because you never see the monster. Yeah, those are good ones. Those are good ones. There's another one. Ten Cloverfield Lane is also a really good horror movie. Really enjoyed that one. That was another one that had a little bit of predictability, but also had enough twists in it that it wasn't what I expected. So I highly recommend that one as well. But in my opinion, the best horror movie, the best one, is called They Live from 1988. Fantastic horror movie. It also gives you the best line from any movie ever, and you can't change my mind. And the line is, excuse my language, I have come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Or no, I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Great movie. Love it. Love it. Highly recommend it. And it's an 80s horror movie, so it's a crappy movie. It's a terrible movie, but it also is a phenomenal movie. So, yeah. So you should definitely check that out. But I think this stream has gone on more than long enough. And I've answered all the questions I have. And I don't see any additional answers in the chat or any questions in the chat. So unless y'all have any last minute questions, thank you all for joining. This was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed sharing who I am with all of you. And I want to once again thank you all for donating so much money to the Trevor Project as part of this Rainbow Shield Wall. Y'all are awesome, and I can't wait to do that again next year. Oh, before we go, looks like Canners has one more question. So last question, and then I'll sign off. So what you got, Canners? Why did I think the canon question was a Gobi question? I don't know. It just felt like a Gobi question. I don't know. It just felt like a question that Gobi would ask. I don't know. What is the Rainbow Shield Wall results? So that's how much money was donated to our Rainbow Shield Wall donation. So back in June, the end of June, I and half dozen or so other YouTube and Twitch content creators did a fundraiser for the Trevor Project, which is a charity that raises money for prevention of LGBTQ youth suicides. And we raised $5,749. So one of the things I was going to do as a reward for how much we donated was this stream. And another one was to do one push-up, sit-up, or squat for every dollar that was raised. So I'm at $1,500, which is about a quarter of the way through. So yeah. But yeah, so thank you all for coming. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, however much of it is left. And I will talk to you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.